Patricia was an annoyingly perfect woman in every way. She had 4 first-class degrees. She was extraordinarily beautiful. She started life as an economist and banker and then progressed through teaching banking to art and became a very accomplished and very successful artist. We were married in 1982. We had 42 unbelievably happy years. She was an integral part of everything I did, every step I took. She was just part of who I was. She was just a very caring, incredible woman who had this extraordinary range of talents across an incredible range. She was a wonderful mother. I mean, it was an extraordinary range from being this clever economist and talented artist at one end to being the most engaged mother you could imagine at the other. She went into the Marsden for about 10 weeks. And sadly, what they discovered was that the cancer had spread to her stomach, to her liver, to various other parts. And that was really the beginning of the really difficult point. We, at that point, knew that she was never going to eat again and that she was going to have to be on a feeding tube for whatever was the rest of her life. And I began to think about how on earth I was going to look after Patricia when she came home. And at that point, we had no idea how our life was going to unfold, but we absolutely knew that without some help, it was going to be really difficult because of the complex needs that she had for nursing. And the point at which your wonderful nurses came in to support us. We had arranged for a 12 hours a day nursing. The thing I discovered immediately was their wonderful empathy and the way that they were able to lift not just the time and physical burden, but the emotional burden of looking after somebody who is seriously ill, knows they're going to die, and needs constant attention. We would have found it really difficult to cope without that support. And I felt truly blessed to have the help that we had. You know, they sat with Patricia all day. They didn't just look after her medical needs, they talked to her. They came with me and Patricia on the unbelievably frequent trips that we made to the Marsden. They were always there in support. It made an enormous difference that I think we as a family will never forget. I think your nurses do it wonderfully well, and I think they should know what a difference it makes to the families that they support. We decided, having learned a lot more about secondary breast cancer, that we were going to do something about it. And we did 2 things. One, we engaged with Breast Cancer Now, who are the biggest breast cancer charity in the UK and one of the biggest in the world, to persuade the NHS and Bupa and other medical providers to improve the way that they educated women about secondary breast cancer, so that when women were given the 5-year all clear after their primary breast cancer, they were properly educated about the risks of secondary breast cancer and how it might present itself. So we knew that Patricia had had it for months, if not years, before she was properly diagnosed. The average woman sees more than 3 clinicians before they're properly diagnosed with secondary breast cancer. So we started on that campaign. We raised, in pretty short order, about 1.5 million, which has gone to research into secondary breast cancer. I have agreed to both form and chair a campaign board for Breast Cancer Now, with a view to raise £50 million for Breast Cancer Now over the next 5 years. And that's really part of keeping her memory alive. She'll be ever present in my life and I think my children's lives. What we're raising this second £50 million for is for basic science research into the biology and understanding of secondary breast cancer, for earlier diagnosis, better treatments, and ultimately cure. I know that Patricia would be up there smiling, knowing that we were really supporting that, and that I'm actually going to devote the greater part of the rest of my life to doing that. There's just so much to do, and I intend to do something about it.